back to the Shoop Sports Podcast. This is your host, Shoop himself. Today, we have just concluded the NFL regular season. So, you know what that means? Super Bowl odds time. We are going to be diving deep into each team's Super Bowl odds, and we're going to give you our best picks and lowest value picks that you should probably avoid. It should be an exciting offseason. I've got a lot of stuff planned. We're going to be doing a lot of NFL draft analysis. We're going to be looking at some key offseason moves and how they could impact the coming NFL season and how it may impact your fantasy football team. I'm sure all our fantasy owners are relieved to be over the stress of the season, but dying to get back at it next year like I am. So, without further ado, let's get into the topic of today's video. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is the odds given at opening for each team Super Bowl. It's kind of grouped into tiers. So you've got your big Super Bowl contenders at the top two teams, mid-tier teams, the next five. You got the Bucks, Bills, Titans, Rams, and Cowboys. All will be decent second choices. And then you have your underdogs. You have the Bengals, like the upstart Bengals, like good season. Do we believe in them? And then you got like the Cardinals, 49ers, Patriots, all teams that might be popular picks, but just might not have enough talent to get it done. And then you have the three long shots at the end, and then including the Steelers, who are a major long shot. So the first team I like when I look at this list is I love the Bucks having the third highest odds at plus 750, mostly because of the teams that they're grouped with, the Bills and the Titans. Out of those two teams, I would heavily bet it on Tom Brady's side that he can go get it done again. Despite all the losses to the players he's had, I would much rather pick them over the Packers. I just think the Buccaneers obviously they have the experience, but they have a lot of key pieces coming back from injury. So Mike Evans already came back. Leonard Fournette's coming back. They're going to get a couple of their stud defenders back. So Shaq Barrett should be coming back. And then you got their secondary being healthy again. And I think the Buccaneers are a type of team that likes to play to their competition. So, people saw that game against the Jets and think, oh, maybe this Bucs team's in trouble, but I'm not really concerned about them. Just if Brady can find his receivers like Cyril Grayson, Scotty Miller, these lesser known guys, what makes us want to doubt Brady so much? And I think you can get him at a way better price than the two favorites above them, Packers and Chiefs. So Bucks would be a good long-term bet. As more of a medium bet, so I mentioned the Titans. The Titans might actually be one of my favorite odds plays because they're really just not getting enough respect here. So things that we look for in potential Super Bowl winners, we want quarterbacks that have some playoff experience, like at least a game worth of playoff experience, because playoff jitters are a real thing, and it's very well known that first-time playoff quarterbacks struggle in their first game, which I will be getting to in a little bit. But the Titans with the 1 seed, so they're going to be having home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So that's one less game you need to worry about. And they have the advantage of Derrick Henry coming back, a fresh Derrick Henry, which is a big part of their offense. A lot of the Titans' struggles this entire season is due to injuries on offense. They expect to have Henry and their two stud receivers, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. And A.J. Brown has been fantastic when he's healthy, but he hasn't been all season. If he plays in this game, I know not this game, but the following week, I think he should be good by then. But having him and Derrick Henry will make this offense way more explosive because they haven't really played together all season. And then, obviously, Julio Jones getting healthier too. And this team has playoff experience. And I would, if I'm the Titans, I kind of go with this, no one believes in this mindset. Why can't we do it? And I think they're a better bet than the Chiefs for that reason, is because the Chiefs have kind of been there before, and they're really stepping up at the right time. But when you can get the Titans at a better price than the Chiefs right now, and you get a home game out of them, I think it's a good long term bet, and it's definitely something where you could for sure hedge against this in the future, whoever their opponent is, because the spreads between whoever they play should be really tight. So you have good opportunity to make your money back on this bet if you're going to go heavy on it. So the Titans and Bucks, two of my favorite Super Bowl picks. But if I had to go more of an underdog, so someone that's more than plus 1,000, I would go with the 49ers at plus 2,100. Even if they don't get a home game in the playoffs, what the 49ers have is experience. Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing well at the right time. He didn't play very well against the Titans, but then again, he was hurt. We found out he was hurt. And this right now, Jimmy G gives the 49ers a better chance to win than Trey Lance. And combine that with the coaching experience they have and just rock solid players all across the board. Very talented offense. Debo and Kittle, good offensive line, one of the best tackles in the game, Trent Williams. And then on defense, their main concern is the secondary, but very, very decent run defense. And you've got a couple stud linebackers in there. Nick Bosa on the pass rush. The 49ers have all the tools. It's just a matter of making the talent come together so it can work. And the NFC, I would look at the NFC as a little bit more wide open than the AFC, because the AFC you've got your power plays. The NFC, of course, you got Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, but there's questions on the other side of the ball for both of those teams. I don't think anyone in the NFC is quite unbeatable yet, even though there's a lot of strong competition. I could easily see the 49ers coming in there and making some noise. And what's more important with these long-term bets is that we have hedging opportunity, and we'll have plenty of hedging opportunity if the 49ers are to win their first-round game. Then we could definitely stack some parlays up to try to make some of that money back. Let's talk about a couple teams where I would really shy away from betting against them for a Super Bowl. And starting with a favorite, my least favorite pick out of all these is the Bills at plus 750. So they're the same price as the Buccaneers and a little more expensive than the Titans. But why? The Bills, they've been heating up at the right time, but I haven't really seen enough consistency from them. And of course, they have the experience and all, but if you were to tell me, like, my life on the line, take an experienced Tom Brady team or this Bills never been to the Super Bowl team at the same price, I would absolutely take the Bucks. And you gotta consider that the Bills gotta go into Kansas City to win, and even if they win that game, then they gotta go into Tennessee. And they lost Tre'Davious White for the season. Imagine them having to stop some of these like dynamic wide receivers like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, potential Super Bowl matchup, Mike Evans, AJ Brown. The Bills are still very sound on defense, but they play a lot poor competition in the year, and that's kind of inflated their record. And as we've seen, the Patriots have been good, but they've been pretty up and down. So while I'm impressed by those wins, I would not take them close to winning the Super Bowl, especially at those odds. So the highest odds would be the Packers at plus 380, and I would shy away from that as well. Because they're currently a favorite, because Aaron Rodgers is his FU year, playoffs run through Green Bay, but I really worry about that defense. They've been a run funnel defense all year. Now they're getting some guys back and playing healthy, but Russ will definitely be a factor for guys like Jair Alexander, David Bakhtiari, and I don't see, I could easily see Brady going back into Lambeau and causing an upset. Even in teams like good run teams. So, the 49ers are an upset candidate. Cowboys have a good defense, although I'll get to the Cowboys in a second. But the NFC is very close, and I could see one of these teams going in and potentially knocking them off in Lambeau. That doesn't mean I don't think the Packers can win the Super Bowl, but at the highest odds, you could get way better bang for your buck. The Cowboys they're a tricky team to me. So I've always believed that good defenses are the ones that you want to rely on in the Super Bowl. But this is just a snake bitten franchise. I don't like. Obviously, history can change, but at plus 1100, when they'll have one home game, and then they gotta go beat Brady or the Bucks. I really don't see it. Uh, at least for us, this is a young defense too. This could be like this could be a team that comes back next year and it could be a Super Bowl favorite, but um, not with their snake bitten luck. I would personally avoid them and go for a different underdog because I really think it's gonna be Brady or Rodgers coming out of the NFC. Other teams that I'm not so much a fan of, so the Patriots might be a fun upset pick. They have the fourth longest odds at plus 2200. But we talked about how rookie quarterbacks don't do too well in their first playoff game. So examples of that. So we have Mac Jones, obviously. We have Jalen Hurts, Derek Carr's first playoff start, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow. So like any of these teams, it's hard envisioning any of them making a deep run. Maybe they win a game or two, but they're all kind of no bets for me. I'm not saying it can't happen. Obviously you have guys like Mahomes who come in and tear it up in their first season, but it's very very rare. And there's a lot of good experienced quarterbacks in this field. So I'd avoid all those teams, including the Patriots, who will be tempting because Bill Belichick. He's been there, he's made it before, but Bill Belichick can only go as far as the talent he has on the field. Same with the Steelers. So Steelers are interesting because they're plus 9,000. They're way deeper odds than the Eagles and Raiders, and that's pretty much based on the fact that who's picking them to beat Kansas City. They can't. They won't. So you might be tempted by seeing those long odds, but Big Ben has shot. He's lucky he even made it into the playoffs. I'm sure he's happy he's there, but this team will just run out of gas. Especially in the colder weather, old quarterback. I don't see it working out. So yeah, one more team that I haven't discussed yet is the Rams. The Rams at plus 950. My concern here is for Matthew Stafford. So he's got a different coach now, but he's had some erratic moments where he's thrown multiple interceptions, and he's let his team down with costly throws. He's been an up and down quarterback, and the coaching for Rams will always get them there. But now you got the Rams. I believe they open against the 49. No, they play the Cardinals in their first game. I would not be surprised to see the Rams lose that game. And I think what most of that has to do with, so they got some electric players on defense, but I just think they shoot themselves in the foot way too many times. And Stafford's never won a playoff game. He has experience in this regard, but I could definitely see a letdown. And I just like the Titans and even the Cowboys better at that price range. So that's what we have for now. Keep in mind that any bets that you make with any of these teams, you want to really factor in a hedging opportunity. So the teams with higher odds or most likely to have home games and be favorites in them, those are the teams with the best hedging opportunities. So one thing that you can do is if one of these favorites has a down playoff game and they manage to come through, they could become a good bet after that. So what I did earlier this season was when the Chiefs had come off that unimpressive Monday night win against the Giants earlier this season, I put down on plus 1,200 for them to win the Super Bowl. Now they're odds at plus 450. You want to try to predict what teams will give you better odds, so get more for your money, essentially. I got almost plus 800 in value. So And so we'll go over that more and we'll evaluate as the week goes on. But in the beginning, those are my favorite Super Bowl odds. Yeah, so just keep an eye out for news this week, and we will continue to update our predictions as we go along. But thank you for watching, guys. This is Shoop Sports, signing out.